After years of wondering whether Toy Story really needed another sequel and if it was ever going to come out, if it were to be a thing, I have to admit I actually had a really good time with Toy Story 5. It introduced one of the franchise's most relevant ideas yet, but in my opinion, it fumbled the ending just enough to keep it from reaching the heights of the earlier films. So let's get into the review of Toy Story 5. As you may expect, there will be spoilers ahead. If you have not seen the movie, pause, go get a ticket, go watch the movie, come back and we can talk about it. But again, spoiler warning. Now, with the premise of the movie, it works. It's very good. The biggest strength of it was the central idea. Instead of another adventure of being lost or finding a new owner, Pixar asked a much more modern question. What happens when kids simply stop playing with toys? Not because they've outgrown them, but because tablets, phones, technology just advanced to the point to become their new favorite companions. Generally an interesting conflict because it's something every family can relate to today, especially nowadays. Now, it gives Woody, Jesse, Buzz, and the gang a challenge they've never faced before. So it was wonderful to see them having to deal with this new concept. Now, with the concept of technology being introduced to kids and it being a central companion now, technology in this movie isn't particularly portrayed as evil except for at the beginning portion. But for the most part, it's ending up in the concept of it being simply the changing landscape of childhood. That makes the conflict a bit more believable. The toys aren't particularly facing a villain, they're just fighting irrelevance. And honestly, that's a pretty emotional concept to focus on. Now, the cast basically fully returns, has a role. Woody particularly is just coming from the outside with the lost toys and helping out with Buzz and his situation on trying to locate Jessie, who ends up being the central part of this movie. The focus is with her. She is the emotional heartbeat. She is the one that we follow through with more of her backstory and her mission to try to get back and get to Bonnie so she can help her make friends and stop focusing on technology. Woody comes in, he provides good emotional beats with how he plays off of Buzz, and both of them provide a lot of comedy that hits more often than not. Buzz ends up having a bigger role than he had previously, which was sorely needed, so I was glad to see that he was more prevalent when it came to this movie. Jessie, like I mentioned, is the heartbeat of the movie. She is the one that gets the most focused. She notices how Bonnie is having a difficult time trying to relate to other kids and becoming friends and being able to hang out with them. More or less, she finds out that technology became the center of everyone's attention. So they all end up being drones, just glued to their tablets. And then unfortunately, Bonnie ends up being in the same situation. Her parents end up getting her a tablet. We are introduced to a new character, Lilypad, and it's so relatable to see a kid just zone out on the tablet when you want them to just go outside, have fun, play with other kids. And that's become a thing that's been so foreign to this recent generation of kids. And it's wild to see it on the screen. My only thing is that I wish they addressed it harder than they did. So where the movie ends up giving me a little bit of difficulty is closer towards the ending. They send up the issue, the central conflict with the Lilypad and the characters and how they came to be essentially irrelevant to Bonnie once she has her tablet. Instead of going the route of making the tablet more of a nefarious villain or anything like that, it ended up being that by the end of the movie, they spun it as the tablet is a good friend. So now it ends up being more of just a kumbaya situation by the end of it, which I felt like ripped off the conflict in terms of how it was to resolve, it ended up being too clean for me in that sense. Throughout the movie, like Pixar spends that time building up the idea of technology fundamentally changing the roles of the toys in the kid's life, but then all of a sudden they're integrated perfectly without much change happening. It just made Bonnie meet another friend. So essentially, they just solved the problem without really addressing the problem. So my only issue was that I felt like they should have put the technology in more of a villain role, which would have been the easiest solution, of course, but put it in more of a villainous role and then give it more of a redemption arc than just, oh yeah, this might be hurting Bonnie. Let me go away. Oh wait, no, I'll just stay and then keep on moving like nothing's happened. Because at the end of the day, why would Bonnie end up choosing to avoid technology after she's gotten over hanging out with Blaze initially? So the conflict itself kind of just goes to the wayside. They didn't really finish handling it. So that got me to a point where I was kind of unsatisfied with the ending of the movie. However, don't get me wrong, I think the movie was actually very enjoyable for the most part, outside of that one issue. It did end up not sticking to the theme of the movie itself in my mind, but overall, throughout the whole movie, you dealt with a lot of nostalgia with the toys. You got to get a fair amount of comedy that mostly hit, like I mentioned, and it was a very good movie. I wasn't looking for like a sad ending, just wanted more a complete ending. I just wanted it to fully embrace the reality of its own premise. Maybe the technology wins, but the toys evolve, or maybe play changes forever. Maybe childhood itself looks different now. Instead, the movie seems to just hit a reset button and just goes back to the beginning of the movie. But despite that, like again, I enjoyed this movie a lot. The animation was beautiful, the characters were lovable and relatable, the emotional moments worked. It's just, I wish they stuck that landing a little better at the end, so they can just pull on the strings a little harder and make this movie close to a masterpiece. Now, when it comes to a movie itself, I kind of put it like more like an 8-9 range. It was, again, very good movie. Just that little bit kind of throws me off a little bit. It was a thoughtful, funny, emotional sequel. The ending just played it a bit too safe for me. Let me know what you think. Was I too harsh? Was I too lenient? Is there something that you like specifically in the movie? Is there something you want to share that really resonated? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd be glad to hear it. But until then, please like, subscribe, helps the channel greatly. And until the next, be blessed.